to this point, you have heard the reasons for changing three strikes law and reputations against these rules. But now I am here to provide reasons for why the law should remain the way it is now. For just a brief account, this law was indeed passed in 1994 with 72% of the vote after the horrible murder of 12-year-old Polly Klaas by Richard Allen Davis, a repeat violent offender as stated in the New York Times. This unthinkable act sparked countrywide call for action. I support that the three strikes law maintain its current status and not be revised in order to maintain order in society and make an example of all the horrible, violent criminals that commit these acts. There are those who argue that there are individuals unjustly imprisoned for very few minor offenses. But take into account, as stated in edubook.com, in California, an individual who was prosecuted for a third strike after he stole a bottle of vitamins had 8 prior convictions, one of which was for robbery. Another individual who was prosecuted for bigamy under California's TSA law had prior convictions in armed robbery. These are just a few examples of the massive population that commit these crimes. Aside from these, there are also benefits to leaving the three strikes law as it is written. One benefit of this law is that it helps fix a flawed justice system so that those who choose to be repeat offenders will stay in prison. In today's society, most crimes are committed by repeat offenders. It will also help reduce liberal sentences, plea bargaining, and case backlogs. Another benefit to maintaining this law is it can effectively help deter offenders who have had 2 felony convictions from committing another crime. After their second conviction, it will be on their mind that if they commit a third offense, they will be sentenced to a prison term of at least 25 years. Finally, the three strikes law only applies to conviction. Therefore, if a person is simply arrested and not found guilty, they will not be subjected to the punishment of the three strikes law. The law would also only affect adults, so juvenile offenders would not be affected by this law, as made clear by www.ram.org. Other benefits include making harsher penalties for child molesters. It would also save taxpayers, quote, ultimately as much as $700 million a year in prison operating costs, and more than $1 billion for a new prison construction, as stated in ca.lwv.org, the website that pertains to Prop 66, which is synonymous with three strikes law. With all these benefits and minimal disadvantages, there is no reason to change the three strikes law.